Ashley put the mop back in the bucket and stood back to survey her work. The best time to mop the hotel lobby was around 3 in the morning. Most of the guests had retired for the night, and you didn't have anyone tracking in mud and zombie guts. Not that there were a lot of zombies left to kill. Since the cure came out 3 years ago, there wasn't much need to kill the zombies. If you could inject the cure within an hour of being bitten, you could reverse the symptoms. Of course, there were still a few roaming around outside that weren't so lucky. She rolled the mop bucket back into the laundry room and shut the door behind her. The chores were all done for the night. Now, the only thing she had left to do was put breakfast out at 7. Ashley smiled to herself, grabbed her book out of her locker, and went to sit down. She set an alarm on her phone so she wouldn't get too absorbed and forget the time, then picked up her novel, a handsome long-haired man in a kilt adorning the cover, and started to read. She loved the Highlands and the Scottish rogues that inhabited them. She had been focused on it for about an hour when the phone rang. She sighed and pushed the talk button. "Thank you for calling the last stop inn. This is Ashley. May I help you?" She had said it so many times she could recite it in her sleep. "Hello, Ashley. This is Carolyn in room 127. Are you busy?" Ashley remembered Carolyn. She was a sweet elderly lady that had checked in almost a week ago. "No, ma'am, I'm not busy. What can I do for you?" "Well, I thought I heard something scratching at my window, and when I went to check, there was one of those rotten corpses grinning at me. Do you have someone who can go out and take care of it? I don't want it to get anybody in the morning." Ashley frowned. There hadn't been a zombie sighting this close to the hotel in quite a while. "Yes, ma'am. I'll go take care of it right away." "Thank you so much. Please be careful." "I sure will, ma'am. Thank you for reporting it." Ashley turned off the phone and went to the intercom system that had been installed for zombie sightings. Protocol dictated that you had to warn everyone to stay in their rooms until the threat was taken care of, no matter what time of the day or night. She cleared her throat and then pressed and held the button. "Attention all guests, this is not a drill. There has been a corpse sighting. Please remain calm, lock your doors, and remain in your rooms until the all clear signal is given. Thank you for your patience during this time." She took out her keys and opened the floor-length locker in the far corner of the room. Ashley pulled out the crossbow and crossbow bolts and laid them on the table, then put on her steel-toe boots and strapped a machete to her waist. Grabbing the leather jacket from the hook, Ashley quickly checked to ensure the lighter and matches were still in the pocket before slipping it on. She made sure to put some thick work gloves in her back pocket and then grabbed a brush and ran it through her hair a few times, quickly braiding it and securing it with a ponytail holder. The last thing grabbed out of the locker was a small red box. Opening it, she removed the syringe inside. It looked very much like an EpiPen, and put it in the inside pocket of her jacket. Ashley stopped in front of the mirror to inspect her handiwork, tucking some stray hairs back into her braid, not wanting them to get in her face while she was trying to shoot. She turned back to the table and retrieved her weapon from the table before exiting the employee locker room and into the front lobby. Stepping carefully to the doors, she checked that no one was in the foyer and locked the first set of security doors behind her. She put her foot in the stirrup of the crossbow and loaded her arrow. Approaching the next set of reinforced doors, Ashley cautiously looked to either side of the doors and slowly opened them. She inched her way out and locked that door behind her as well. If she failed in killing the zombie, she wanted to make sure it couldn't get inside. She listened to the still night air. The birds had gone quiet, as they usually do when a corpse is nearby. She walked down the sidewalk slowly, making as little noise as possible. Rounding the corner of the building, she heard the telltale signs of the living dead, the moaning and wailing of someone searching for flesh. Turning the next corner, she finally saw her target. Ashley could immediately tell it was too far gone for the cure. That meant she would have to kill it. She stood watching it for a bit. There was something familiar about it. It was female. Bleach blonde hair hung in mats off its deteriorating scalp. The shredded remains of the once white shirt that it wore was now mostly covered in dried blood and green pus, and the skin-tight jeans now hung in tatters. It was missing an arm and one of its shoes. Ashley had definitely seen it before. "Tris, what a pleasant surprise. We were wondering what happened to you after you ran off with Bob when your sister inherited the house. Guess you shouldn't have been such a petty backstabbing bitch, huh?" she said with obvious sarcasm. Ashley hadn't been too happy with Triss when she disowned her friend after not getting the inheritance. The zombie turned and shambled towards her with a limp. Ashley saw that she had a huge chunk missing out of her leg. She raised the crossbow. "I'll tell your sister you said hello." She pulled the trigger, and the arrow embedded itself in the zombie's skull. It staggered and fell with a less than graceful thump. Ashley walked towards it slowly, not wanting to take a chance that it was still alive, nudging it with her toe. Definitely dead. She pulled her gloves out of her back pocket and put them on. Ashley grabbed the corpse by the legs and carefully dragged it to a pit dug in the hill behind the hotel for the specific purpose of disposing of corpses. She pushed it into the pit and lit a match. "Rest in peace, bitch." She dropped the match and watched as the flames eagerly ate up the corpse. When the flames died down, Ashley went back into the hotel, cleaned and put her zombie-killing gear away, washed her hands, made the all-clear announcement, and proceeded to put breakfast out for her guests. She reminded herself that she needed to call her friend and let her know about her sister's unfortunate demise. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed all in a night's work, and we'll see you next time. Bye.